Ladies and gentlemen, how's it going? It's your boy Frank with another sweet DIY. Well, this is a long one because I've been working on the Mistral, as you guys may know, and the fuel pump was leaking so bad that was dripping fuel everywhere. Everything rubber around the fuel pump was tarnished, so we had to do something about it. So in this episode I will be actually showing the process that I took in order to fix it. So I hope you enjoy it and stay around. Cheers. So the main idea is to pressure washer a little bit. You can see we have some leaks over there. I want to take out the intake manifold to be able to access the pump and check whenever where the leak is coming from, and make sure that we address all those leaks that you guys have seen right there. So the first thing will be to actually clean the engine. I have this engine cleaner that I will be pouring into the car and make sure that it's clean enough. So let's start by doing that. Hello guys, so I've just removed the intake. Look how dirty this is. Yeah. Yep, this is how years of oil dripping down looks like. Interesting. So we are here. We already removed the intake, the battery. I also removed the radiator and the radiator fan and all the belts. And basically you need to remove this cover right here, which will expose, the cover is that one right here, just 12 millimeters. That's why I just went ahead and make it fast, just not bother you with simple things. So we have to make sure that we are marked with the pump. I'm looking for the marking spots, so we'll still need to crank over the engine in order to locate it. So we rotated the engine, and I believe that you can see the two Z's marking with the other Z. So we are atop that center right now. So we can go ahead and disassemble the center bolt, which is being held by a 19 millimeter, and we'll be good to go. So we have just removed the sprocket, as you guys may be seeing over there. So now it's time to remove all the hoses from the pump with the 7 millimeter socket. Just remove the pump and you guys can see how dead this engine mount is. That's why the car was shaking a lot. So since we are doing the pump, it's a great opportunity to do that also. So I'll be removing that engine mount, and the pump is just right here. Let me finish removing the pump, and then removing the mount, and then we will return back to the pump. I've just removed the mount. This used to be one single piece, but as you can see, it's pretty bad. This was caused because of the leaking diesel. That's why you have to make sure that you do address those issues. So basically I think we have everything that I needed out to make sure that I work. So now I'll have to pressure washer a bit this area because it's messy, and tomorrow we'll start buying all the kits for the pump and all the replacements. Maybe it's a good idea also to replace the thermostat. We'll remove that also. So there you go, get the thermostat housing out, and we have the defibrillator old thermostat. We will also try to buy it. Alright guys, so yesterday I actually lost some footage where I was actually disassembling the pump. So basically all the rear part I have dismantled, as you can see right here. So the idea was to actually today to go and do some parts inquiring to make sure that I would found all the necessary bits to repair my pump. So basically I will just submerge all the parts here inside and coat them with diesel to make sure that it's easier for me to work on them. So basically I stripped out the rear part of the pump, removed all the seals except for the top one, because I can't find other than I would have to order. There is a gasket that goes just over there. I couldn't find here in my city. So okay, got everything there. I will soak them on diesel. Okay, so we got the parts soaked in diesel. So those are all the rubbers that I went ahead and buy. Also some more O-rings. This one already bought and they replaced it in the store. Also the big one here I've replaced, which I will show you, is basically this guy. It was replaced. And we still have some gaskets that go over there. This is one of them they've replaced. So if you can see just right here, probably not, it was already stripped out. Maybe that's why it was also leaking. So now let's start doing the assembly. So to do the assembly, first we have to put back the rotary section, which is inside there. But first, before we begin, I will just replace this O-ring on the back right here, because it's one of them that we were looking into. So this one usually it leaks, that's why we are also replacing. Let me clean a bit here. Up. So for this we have one O-ring that goes in there. Which is this one that goes over that bolt, as you guys are seeing there, and it just goes straight in. And we will later on tighten that one. So you can see right there, it stays just in place, just like on this side. All right, next step, we have to replace the O-rings from the sides. So we have one ring that goes over there. Just removed yesterday since I needed to actually buy one. Let me just adjust better my cam. There you go. Which is this one right here. We just soak it a bit in diesel, which fits just perfect. This one was meant to be there. Clean up the cap. So here on the other side you have this cap right here. Also you open it up with a 10mm socket. Be careful when removing this, because actually you have those two springs, and inside of those two springs you have two shims which are there inside. Let me show you. There you go. You have both of shims out of there. So there. So this one. Right here. Just fits perfectly over there. Then you put back the inner spring and the outer spring, just like that. And after that, put cover back on. There is a little bit of tension right there because of the springs, so just tighten the bolts. So now it's time to move to the inner part. So I have this vise, it's not fixed into the table, but I will be able to work. So the first thing that we have to make sure that we insert are those dials. So you just insert it over there, and then you have the outer part, which is this one that goes over there like that. And then you have that shim that covers that area just like that. And you just insert it here inside. So it sits just right there, as you may be seeing there. So we have to do to the remaining ones. So there you go. You have all four of them aligned. What we have to add next is this piece right here. Just that does just go in just like that. So we just inserted it right there, as you can see. One of the things that you have to make sure is that it aligns with the position of the shaft right there. So now that we have it installed right there, the next part actually is to get this guy installed. It has this very small filter there inside, and for that you have this guy right here. You have your shaft over there also, so those two things come here, and this groove right back here has to also align here inside with that key that also aligns with the woodruff key back in the motor, just like that. So it has to be aligned. So our next step is to make sure that it aligns. So this guy just come right here, just like that, and you have the other springs that I will show you in a moment. There you go. So I had to go back a little bit because we missed to install this cross pin before actually we install this one. So make sure that first you insert this one and then later on. So basically this one stays locked just like that. See, it can go in any direction. Just make sure you insert it like that. This is the corner that I mentioned that you have to align it there, and this you can see this groove right here has to align into that dot right there. So basically what we are going to do now is to insert it in here. So just like that, you insert it, and then you can see that I greased up those two springs and the stoppers, which now we have to put that spring in there and that other one here there. So in that way we will gently insert the rotor part in there. Make sure you add grease to those so they do not fall apart. So I've just added a little bit more grease to make sure that they don't fall out. I think we made it. Now let me align the bolts. Now I want to do the rear of the pump. The rear of the pump, which is this area just right here. So you have this cap right here. So this guy takes an O-ring, which is that one right here. See, there you go. Have it back. So now looks like we have an old O-ring just right here on the back. Just want to make sure if it's an O-ring or probably yes. Oh yeah, that's an old O-ring, which I bought a new one for there, which is this guy right there. Just have to pick up the bolt and insert it, and just like that. All right, we got it tight. So the next step, we have to install back the fuel adjuster. I have here a very small O-ring, this one that goes in over here. You just have to push it until it sits, just like that. Just like that. We'll still need to adjust that on the car to make sure that our idle is sitting correctly. We have that small gasket that goes over the solenoid, and you have this rubber that comes just right there. So now it's time to work on the back. So we have those new rings that we have to install. Just pick those, insert just right there. Here two, here two. The next step, you have those small guys, which they come with this. So they stay just like that. You will insert them in there. So you have 4 of them. Like there. You have the spring and the cap. Just it like that. Tighten it down. So right now we are just adding back So we're done with the pump here. Now it's time to take it back to the car, make sure that we test it out, and then we'll clean it up. So we have just installed the pump, as you guys can see right there. We have just aligned our timing. Focus, you may see the Z's. eye lining over there. Yeah, you can pretty see the ZZ lining there. So now I just have to insert the bolt and crank up, rotate the engine to see if everything is okay. Moment of truth. Battery is dead. Let me quick jump it. Okay, so now I'm quick jumping the battery. Let me see if now it starts. How's it going, folks? It's been 2 months or 3 since I've done the fuel pump, and the car is behaving very nice. We have no more leaks. I'll just show you guys on how it's looking. So it performs better, and also we don't have leaks. So let's go ahead and see what's going on. So here we are, guys, on the car. As you guys maybe see, it's already fitted together, and let me try to show you the pump, guys. It is just over there, where I believe you guys can see it's pretty brown dry. No leaks at all. So the car has been driving so fine now. Try to show you on the side, as you guys may be seeing right there. No signs of leak, which is great. So yeah, car drives fine now. Let me just start it up. It's actually pretty cold today. Glow plugs. One time it starts, just like that, and she leaves. So that's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, do not forget to like, leave your comment, and subscribe to the channel to see more content like this. Stay tuned. So also make sure that when you're doing this kind of job, inspect the shafts and the internal parts of the pump, as some of them may be worn. In my case, all of them were looking good, and you're good to go. Cheers!